Music, horror, art, politics, badassery. Welcome to Society 13.
You want to see something really scary?
You bet. Music, horror, art, politics,
and overall badassery.
Welcome to
Kettle Whistle Radio.
For real.
On Society 13 Networks.
Turn your mic off.
Did I turn my mic off?
You did.
Is yours working?
Mine works.
Oh, okay. Testing. Sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Microphone paralysis. Hey, yes, Kettle Whistle Radio with Dave and Shaun, and we're going to have a special guest here in a little bit. And right now we're jawing. Is that a Pennsylvania term? We're jawing instead of talking about or yammering. We're jawing about something.
Yammering, I think, is more maybe a Pennsylvania
Is it?
thing. Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard jawing. I've used jawing before.
Is that that's a southern thing? I don't know, because I'm a transplant from New York and I've lost my accent. But when I go home and come back, it comes back. And usually when I'm angry, I get more New Jersey. It's very strange, but we do have Ty Oliver on tonight from Powerman 5000, and he's a great dude. And we're gonna play, of course, some Powerman 5000 for you off the new album New Wave. Gonna go see them at the Crafthouse in Pittsburgh on the 30th. I have tickets. Shaun does not. We're working on that, as you will hear. And let's see. I cut you off, and I feel bad. You were telling a story when we got into all kinds of other things on other shows, past two shows. We were talking Vinnie Paul and everything else. Well, that was terrible. I'm still not over the Vinnie Paul thing. I never will get over that. But we were talking about real music, real musicians, and where to go to buy their stuff. A little place called record stores.
Yeah, so I used to, it used to be, could be me and any variety of friends. It could have just been one friend or a couple friends, but what would happen was I would get to the record store and I would, just start perusing through every single section and looking at the artwork and looking at who produced the band and looking at the songs and maybe any information that was available on the artwork and the jacket of the album, and just I'd spend hours, literally hours in the record store, and my friends would get so mad at me, and they would be like, "Oh, Shaun's in the record store again. We're gonna be 3 hours." And yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I still get that if I can find a record store, but yeah, they're few and far between now. But now they're novelty stores. You got records, you got vinyl, you got CDs, and then you got like toys, comics, and all these other collectors' items, so to speak. T-shirts. Ides has it all. They're still not paying me for this, so I can't talk about them too much.
In Monroeville, they used to have this, I don't know if it was a traveling thing or what, but they used to have this CD convention. At, there was this hotel in Monroeville. And I think it's actually a hospital now in that location. But anyway, they used to have this convention, and that's where I found like a lot of like really cool like Curve CDs and just like weird cutout CDs that you wouldn't find anywhere. Some of my Skinny Puppy CDs that I have, and just oddities, things that you wouldn't find in the normal everyday record store.
Right.
Find, like those prized things that, oh man, I can't believe I found this.
Like a radio, you just pulled the CD out of the Dink, D-I-N-K, that was big. Yeah, they weren't big. They had their brief moment in the mid '90s.
Green Mind.
Green Mind. Yeah, danceable rock music, fun stuff. And if you look at them, they just look like a bunch of college kids. It was so funny, all wearing baseball hats.
An Ohio band, weren't they?
I think, that's why we got them. Yeah, Dink. And you just pulled that out of there, and you found an album I haven't. You had to get the dust off of it. The future episodes, all kinds of bands. You were talking about Paw back in the grunge days, and they have a new band.
Yeah, they have a new band. The lead singer from Paw has a band called Godzillionaire, and they're from Kansas, Lawrence, Kansas. And I just started to chat up with him, see if maybe we can make an interview out of it.
Hopefully so. That sounds good. That sounds good already. Well, I look forward to that. And you guys got to stick around, listen to Ty Oliver, really cool dude from Powerman 5000. But something we left off last time, I like to talk movies. I have to talk comic book a little bit because my comic book Demon Eye, one word Demon Eye, you have to look it up by Demon Eye Comic, I found out on YouTube. I have a trailer there if you guys are interested. It's all color, 26 pages. Got a lot of hits all of a sudden. And I had given some to some folks in New York, and that's a story I've yet to tell on here, and I can't yet. I have some things in the works that I hope will come to fruition. Shaun will be the first to know. More than likely the second to know. I'll probably be the first. Oh, well, then there's also the woman. She needs to know. Anyway, if something happens, you guys will know. I don't know. But, yeah, Demon Eye got a lot of hits on YouTube suddenly. We're not sure why. But check it out if you can. It's a fun little trailer. Band Magnet School does the soundtrack. That being said, you guys, to Jurassic Park. You saw it. I saw it. I enjoyed it, and I wanted to hate it. It was a different setting for the same story again.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little more bite than some of the other ones, or just the same bite. No real surprises, except the scenario, I guess, where the dinosaurs are this time.
Yeah, I think my wife, she was a little bit disappointed because there wasn't enough island action.
Yeah.
And the dinosaurs were in a different setting.
I agree with that.
And, but quite honestly, I thought the premise was done very well.
Okay.
I read a lot of reviews going into it, people saying,
There's
how
nothing
many
to
times
hate.
can they tell this story, and how many different ways can they spin it? But it ended up being a really fun, enjoyable movie.
Yeah. I agree. It was fun. And is it an ending? No. It's a new beginning, quite possibly, and God knows if they're going to do that. Yeah, of course they are. All right, so Jurassic Park, not too bad. What is it? Fallen Kingdom?
Fallen Kingdom.
I'll give it, a thumb and a half up. I don't know. It was fun. It's a popcorn movie. It's a summer. I don't want to say family flick unless your kid's older. Whatever. But parents let their kids see everything these days.
Yeah.
The other thing, I don't know if I'm going to touch on Last Jedi yet. The movie that sent me to therapy. Fun because it's Star Wars, but is my least favorite Star Wars movie. I have to say that. I love Solo. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. This one, man, I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it yet.
For me, it kind of almost destroyed a character that I loved.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It had very good qualities, and I enjoyed it as a Star Wars movie because there's what's not to enjoy about a Star Wars movie, but
it took a lot of things and rearranged them from what you know. And I mean, if it was just a director trying to be cool, that's the way it came across. Like he was just like, I'm gonna pull the carpet from under these motherfuckers, just like, and he did, and unfortunately he did to old school fans, and it wasn't acceptable.
It did not go over well.
No, and he, I don't know. I don't know. I just maybe in detail at some point, because there are people that still haven't seen it yet, believe it or not. So we'll just leave it at that, and we'll stick to music for now because it seems to be safer. So yeah, coming up, Ty Oliver from Powerman 5000. Let's go into it too. Unless you got something else to say, Shaun.
I don't think I do.
All right, we'll get into a little Sid Vicious and Address.
We should do that.
Okay. You totally tatted me just now. All right, folks. That's a reference to an old classmate of ours. All right. Here we go. Sid Vicious and Address.
It's a mistake. You're a habit I can't break. Everything you do is so fucked up.
Folks, friends, and fiends, thank you so much for tuning in to Kettle Whistle Radio. It's once again Dave, and who's over there in the corner?
Shaun.
Sean. He just goes by Sean. He's very quiet at first. We're still breaking Sean in. We have a very special guest here with us tonight, depending on when you listen to this. Mr. Ty Oliver from Powerman 5000, one of the bands I've been following through the years. So many changes. And Ty, thank you so much for doing the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You're new to the band as of 2015?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and from what we understand, well, I already know you're a hell of a musician.
I pretend to be.
You pretend. Not from what me and Shaun see.
No, he's a very good technical guitarist.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
no, I think you're there, man. I'll show my age here, but I kind of grew up in the 80s with the metal. I was a kid in the 70s, but in the 80s, the metal, you had Yngwie Malmsteen, you had the Satrianis, who you get compared to.
Those are all, I mean, I'm a total 80s hair metal guy. Like, that's definitely at the roots of a lot of the stuff that, my guitar playing for sure. Satriani and Steve Vai, huge influences. So, yeah.
And you, I guess you were discovered by who in Powerman, or did you audition?
I did audition. I just got contacted at the time by Nick, who was the guitar player at 2015. He'd been in the band for a while. He contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in learning some songs, that kind of thing. And then there was an actual audition with the band, and I'm still hanging out. They're still calling me, so it worked out.
Yeah, and you're definitely in the videos and showing up live on YouTube. There's some live performances by you guys. You're up there on stage. I saw some really big crowds there.
Yeah, we've played some recently on the last couple tours we just did. There's been some really, really good festival shows that have just been super fun, super awesome. Big crowds. Plus, you're getting to play with all these bands you like and admire or whatever, and respect. So it's just, the whole thing is a lot of fun to get to do that on top of having a big crowd. So it's kind of all win on those, I think.
Well, just before we get too much into the Powerman thing, I'll concentrate on you. Was it intimidating to step on there with those other guys? Are they have they been doing it longer? I know I saw him in the first tour way back when, the Ozfest, but was it intimidating to get on that stage with that crowd in your face?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, because I was a fan of the band for a long while before I got into it, was an actual member, but, and previous to that, I'd been in bands or whatever in the San Francisco Bay Area, and opened for bigger bands here and there, but nothing on a level that Powerman's doing now. So yeah, to go into the audition and have to play in front of Spider and then the rest of the guys or whatever. I mean, I was good and nervous, man. It was pretty hardcore. So, but everything. I mean, they're just such nice, down to earth guys that helped.
Cool.
And then that first few couple of shows there was definitely like pretty nerve wracking, but I just was there was no way I was going to say no to it. I was like, I got to just suck it up and do it, So, but once I kind of broke the ice with it all, then it's like, now it's just like fun. It's so much fun. So,
looks like you're having a good time. Sean's got something for you here.
Well, I was going to say there's a big contrast in the music between your solo music albums and then the Powerman 5000. Was there a a different mindset that you had to put yourself in to do the music with Powerman, or just?
Yeah, I mean the solo stuff that people still seem to find some way out there. That's like pretty old. That's from a good 10 years ago or longer. And I was definitely in a very different headspace putting that stuff together. I mean, I was super duper into the Satriani, Steve Vai zone. And I still liked heavy stuff while I was doing that. That's what was coming out of me creatively. And I kind of did that. It kind of ran its course. And then I hit a point where, because I did it with a three-piece band for a couple of years, and that was fun. But then I kind of hit a point where I was like, all right, I want to be in a band, like a real band with a singer, and like I don't really care about shredding solos, or I just kind of got over it. I just kind of burned out on it, and I wanted to just do a rock band. I wanted to have fun and be in a full-on band. So
nice.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of things that were going on in the solo stuff that I don't know. I felt like it's open to do a lot of stuff, but I also felt like I couldn't. It felt very trapped in the a past kind of sound, a dated sound. So a lot of I had all these other bands I liked that I wanted to try and play and express and get that side of me out. And so I felt like doing a regular band would be, would help that. So anyhow, I did eventually get into a couple other things after I did the solo thing. A couple of original bands.
Mm-hmm.
One was called Requiem for the Dead, and then I did a couple local bands in the San Francisco Bay Area as well, like goth industrial stuff.
Ah, right up our alley, Shaun.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was super fun, and got to get my live kicks out, and some of those other influences that I had in me were I was able to get that out on stage and stuff. So by the time Powerman came around, I was very much like in a band headspace and more. Just closer to doing a rock band, what Powerman is, than I was, say, doing the solo stuff, because that stuff's like, it's old. It's like that's from a while ago. But I'm actually surprised that you found that. I wasn't aware that you knew about it. So.
Oh yeah.
But it's really good. It's good to hear how technically challenging that the music is, on that solo stuff. From my point of view, but that actually led me to find. Another piece of music that you did with another band, I think.
This caught Shaun's attention big time.
Yeah, I have a friend that's into like real technical death metal, so he listens to Decrepit Birth, and I saw that you had a solo on one of their records. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually long time friends with Matt and Bill. We actually grew up in Santa Cruz together, and Matt Sotelo, the guitar player and mastermind behind that whole band, is just a longtime friend, and we actually, one of the first people I ever jammed with, and had a big influence guitar-wise, was Matt. Like, I used to because I started out playing drums, and then I eventually switched to guitar, but I used to jam with Matt, and because he was just so good that I was like, okay, I gotta play with this guy. He's like gonna go places, and and we were just good buds, and so anyways, long story short, he had he did the whole Decrepit Birth thing, and there's actually a solo on, I believe it's the second album and then the third one. But yeah, I was able to get in do a couple guest solos on two of the albums, and that was just super fun. I mean, that was just like, I was kind of honored to get to do it, because those guys are just like such crazy good musicians. But yeah, when I was growing up, I was super into death metal. Suffocation, Cannibal Corpse, Deicide,
we talked about Deicide on the last episode. Yeah, man, they were that was the beginning. Morbid Angel was mine, but that's the '80s again. Deicide too.
Dude, all those bands. I mean, him and I used to just like smoke pot, ditch class, and like crank the death metal and be like, that was our thing. So
hell yeah.
So yeah, I go back to all that too. So.
I had two of the guys from Faster Pussycat on here, and I asked about, and we talked about dichotomy, me and Shaun off air, when they would go and do the Newly Deads. Fantastic stuff. I love it. The remake of the Susie and the Banshee stuff, and like the Newly Deads. I asked them, what's that like? When you go from doing this glam act and you have an over 40 audience, and you go do the Newly Deads. Now this is going back 10 years. You get a younger crowd, a danceable crowd, a gothy crowd, a punk crowd. They loved it because they love the transition. They love going back and playing those old riffs with Faster, and then when you can go back and hit those beats with the Newly Deads, it just made everything fresh. Yeah,
you kind of get to you have like different parts of your musical personality, I guess, and sometimes, say the band you're in doesn't get to express all that. So I'm sure getting to do those two different, types of music is like super fun, and satisfies, all those needs or wants or whatever. So I'm sure it's great. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. We should get to a song here, a second song here. Normally I'd like to let you pick it. We already heard Sid Vicious in the Dress. What would you pick off the new Powerman?
I'm gonna say I really like the song "Hostage." I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. I have a personal favorite we played on the last show, but we'll get to that one in a little bit. Maybe I'll let you guess. But all right, let's get to "Hostage." That is definitely I'd say my second favorite on the album. Great stuff. And Ty Oliver, thank you for doing this with us. We'll get right back with Ty. And girls, that's T-Y as in Ty. Okay, don't spell it differently. All right. They do that all the time. I can't find him on the internet. Just look up Powerman.
No, I get hit with that all the time. Like THI, and I'm like, no.
I know, right? And then I'll go and misspell it on Twitter or something. I'm famous for that. It's not a good thing. 186 shows in, and I'm still misspelling stuff. But yeah, we have been here for 7 years. Just so you know, you're not the only one new to the show. Shaun we're still breaking him in here. But this
fairly new.
You're four episodes in. Now he's doing good. And he's also picked up his bass recently too. So it's some inspiration happening here. All right, Ty Oliver, thank you. And we're going to get right back to you right now, a little Hostage. And we are back, folks. And as I always say, what do I always say? People can talk this back at me now. All the good conversations, all the interesting ones happen off the air. We are talking Pig Destroyer with Ty Oliver from Powerman 5000. I really like Pig Destroyer. But me and Shaun met at a ministry show. And, I'm trying to think. Yeah, we're into the industrial scene, only because it's like the next step of metal for me, between that and death metal, you know? What are you listening to right now, Ty?
Me? I kind of go all over the place. I like, like you just said, like I listen to some goth industrial stuff, but then I listen to like a lot of 80s stuff.
Okay.
I'll listen to some newer bands like the 1975 or like, I'm open to new stuff, but I also have my old favorites, of course. But I'm a rocker. I like rock music. I was listening to Duff Kagan's Loaded band recently. I kind of never really checked them out, and then I for whatever reason, I think I was listening to like Velvet Revolver, and I was like, I kind of surfed my way to his band Loaded, and I've been digging on that recently. I just like rock stuff, be it metal, be it pop rock. Old, new, you name it, alternative, indie. I like all kinds of stuff. So.
And it shows in your music. And you are the lead guitarist. Do you guys ever switch it up in Powerman?
Yeah, because like there's definitely some leads that the other guitar player handles live. Absolutely, that I mean, the majority of like the solos, I guess you could call them.
Okay.
I'm doing them, but like he does. We switch off. There's definitely some lead parts he's doing in the songs as well. So it's not all me.
Okay. Well, speaking of you, I dug into Heartstrings 2008. You had a CD, or is it just music? Yeah. I really liked Fade Into You. I felt that to be haunting yet a hopeful song. And Sunset was very Satriani-esque, and that's a cruising song. There's nothing else to that but cruising. That's how I felt listening to it. I don't know what you had in mind when you wrote those two songs.
I definitely was very much, Satriani. That was the big influence. And just trying to do stuff that had feeling and sounded good and wasn't too. I mean, yeah, it's solo instrumental guitar stuff, but I didn't want it to just be like an obnoxious like shred thing too much. I wanted it to be like a song that anybody could listen to it and like it would make sense. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
Feeling. But I definitely wanted something that had feeling and melody and I was going for songwriting too, not just shred. But I also wanted to throw in some guitar flash in there too. So.
It's evident. It's evident, definitely. You make the guitar talk like on Heartstrings. I felt like I was like in the midst of a conversation of like someone's life story. That guitar was talking to me. I found that to be pretty cool. But yeah, that transition. Then you go into Powerman and just jam out. It's like to me that's an awesome dichotomy right there. I love that.
Yeah. No, well, thanks for listening to it, man, and giving it your ear. I appreciate it, dude.
And getting into New Wave, the new Powerman, it's just a great record all around. I think it's a great record for somebody to come into. Were you in the studio with that one?
I wasn't as much as, it was a lot of Spider and the producer, Greg.
Okay.
And I got to be in there one day for a song that I didn't make the cut, actually. So I'm not on there as much as you might think, but I'm more of the live guy.
That's cool.
Him and the producer Greg and Spider really, kind of took it and knocked it out of the park on that one. So, I know Ryan was on there, and I think maybe somebody else might have been in the mix. But I mean, I was aware of it. I was hearing the songs. Just I wasn't, I didn't get to be as hands-on as you might think. But the live stuff is, kind of where that's where I step up and, get to have fun. So,
do you guys get a chance to write new music on the road at all?
Yeah, I mean, there might be some jams and stuff like at a sound check. And Spider's like really, really prolific and comes up with a lot of stuff. So he's like coming into the band, like I just thought, as a fan, I thought maybe he just did vocals and wrote lyrics and that was it. But he's like playing guitar and program and drum. He does like a lot. So he's kind of like he pulls a lot of weight in that band. I mean, Spider's very much the mastermind behind a lot of that stuff. I mean, the artwork, the theme, it's all him. So.
Yeah, it's in the blood, I think. We know that Rob guy.
I mean, he knows what he wants, and he knows the vibe he's going for. Plus, he customizes our clothes. And,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, he does a lot of different things. But yeah, him and his brother are obviously very, very creative, artistic people.
Oh yeah, I was on board from the beginning. Anywhere from superheroes to anime stars. That's how the look was. And right. I thought that was really cool. It caught my attention right away. And that first album, I still love a lot of that. I mean, just swim with the sharks. It's just I cannot not play that song.
Radio, the Kung Fu Radio.
Yeah, Mega Kung Fu Radio. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that. I mean, you can't start a summer off around here without me playing that every day.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that are they request stuff off that album because we don't really play anything off of it right now. I mean, we did start to do Neckbone for a minute, and then I think we did Car Crash once.
Oh yeah.
Once or twice, and then we just didn't play it after that. So, but a lot of people do say the same thing. They're like, make it country radio, play some stuff off that, so.
That's awesome though. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I called you guys, I should say, on Ozfest way back when, and yeah, he was on the second stage at that point, but he definitely made a statement. You knew there was going to be more coming. What is the crowd feedback like? Are you finding? I ask all artists this now because they get frustrated on stage when either people aren't showing or they're not getting into it. You guys getting good feedback from the crowd?
Yeah, I'd say the majority of the time, it's great. And people go nuts and they're super into it and jump around, and it's like a whole, this whole energy thing going on. And then of course there's the nights where there's a bunch of people there and they just kind of don't do much.
You mean the millennials?
I mean, who knows? I mean, but that happens here and there, and it's like we're still gonna jump around and be idiots. So
I like that.
But, I mean, it helps, when you're getting that. That give back from the crowd,
yep.
That really makes the whole thing just kind of go off that much harder. But I mean, regardless, if it's a crowd that's just kind of not going for it, we're still gonna give it 100%. So we'll still be up there jumping around, regardless. So
that I believe.
Yeah, but we certainly encourage everyone to have fun and go nuts. Don't just stand there.
So I always wanted to know this, and I think I know the answer, but if you have a crowd that's giving you a real positive reaction and you guys are into it and they're into it, does that justify or warrant the need for the extra songs at the end? You guys might walk off stage and come back on and maybe play a few extra songs if it's a good crowd?
Absolutely, because sometimes if it's like a night where they're not that into it, it's kind of rough, we're having a hard time getting that response. We might cut a song, we might not play one or two, or make that encore at the end just kind of be a song less, so just to kind of wrap it up, because it's just kind of flat or whatever. And if it's going off, we're gonna play all of them, man.
That's cool. And like I said, we had some of your friends on here too, a band called Nightclub. Emily Kavanaugh?
Oh, well, my girlfriend's introduced me to them recently, and we saw them in LA, and I'm a fan. So,
yeah, no, I am too.
Yeah, super cool band, great music. They're awesome.
Yeah, I got them both on. They were driving somewhere, and I had them. They called up, and I got them on. They're gonna laugh when they hear that you did this too. Great people. Great people. Yeah, I dig. She's so angry on that stage. It's great. She's I told her she's like a female Jonathan Davis when she gets up there.
Nice.
She goes off.
I think she did the Pigface reunion last year.
Did she
in
really?
Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, Pigface is a big one, man. Yeah, they have a new album coming out too. I don't know if you are a fan of Pigface at all, Ty.
I know of them. And I think I've even seen them live once. I think.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, once.
But did you guys go see that recent tour with Nightclub and
Combi Christ? No, I knew you were going to say that. I wanted to go to that so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, because there's another band on there, Death Valley High, that's really great guys too. They're a good band, definitely worth checking out, and maybe even somebody.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Let's write that down,
Yeah,
Shaun.
we'll
Write it
have to
down.
do that.
Write it down.
Got it.
All right, Scribe. Okay, cool. All right, we got that one written down. Thank you.
Yeah, they're good guys. Great, really nice guys, and we actually toured with them with Orgy.
Oh, nice.
Years ago, and they're from the Bay Area, where and an old band I was in used to play with them, and they're out there killing it still. So
Awesome.
Was that the tour with Pig? Did they play? Was that Pig and Combi Christ and?
I don't know if Pig was on that one. I saw Pig a long time ago.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them. I didn't know they were still going. Pig. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sidebar comment.
Sorry.
We do that.
No worries. Speaking of Pig, I think they played with they toured last summer with Julian K.
Wow. Oh wow, Julian K.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's another band. Totally dig that band for sure.
Good stuff. Well, we're going to take a quick break here for a song. Got to pay the bills too. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to see his reaction on this one, Shaun. My favorite tune is Die on Your Feet.